and good morning from central London. Plan today is to go meet my good friend Isco. He's down from Leicester for the weekend, and you'll remember him from my previous vlogs, specifically the wonderful photography show in Birmingham, as well as one of my first videos where we took the Xeon Crane 2, which is a gimbal built for full frame cameras, and we're just walking around central London and taking hyperlapses rather, and then using that to make like a hands-on review. So if you haven't seen those videos already, do go check them out on my channel. So those previous two videos I just mentioned that I did together with Isco happen to be some of my most popular ones on YouTube, and in fact the one where we review the gimbal actually has my most views ever. So I've been asking myself, why is that the case? And the answer is quite simple really. Ever since I started photography, I've realized that when you create content for other photographers, there's two things they're really mainly interested in. What gear did you use, and where did you go to get that photo from? Your actual output, as in the photo you took, isn't always so interesting to other photographers. They're more interested in their own work, and I guess that's fair enough. But so I take that on board, and been thinking about how I can structure that into this channel of mine. So of course I want to keep up the behind the scenes photography bits where I'm walking around London or various other places and showing you my thought process, because that's my favorite thing to do. But I definitely still want to incorporate a lot of equipment reviews and share my thoughts on those as well. So watch the space, hit that subscribe button below if you're interested in that kind of content, and yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey. Good morning, Isco.
Good morning. Okay.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So we've picked out our first composition, and this is the one we're going for. Loving this underground entrance with the iconic underground sign, and it actually makes a great frame. So with Regent Street behind it, you can catch a bus just passing through. It makes for a really great shot, and in order to make that happen, I'm using an 18mm wide lens because I want to capture a lot of the scene, including a lot of the street behind it and a lot of the traffic, including the buses. So yeah, that's what I'm going for anyway. Here's the photo, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Cool, so we're done with that location. Are you happy with the photos you got, Isco?
Yes, the pictures was fine, but the light was a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's midday now, so and there's no clouds in the sky to diffuse the light, so it's a bit harsh, casting a lot of shadows onto the street, so it's not so perfect.
We'll try the best in Photoshop.
Yeah. Isco's actually quite the Photoshop warrior, so he might be able to make some magic happen. Watch the space. I'm going to link his name in the description below if you want to see his final photo on his Instagram. So recently was the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan, and as a result London was beautifully decorated, and then had a lot of Union Jack flags, especially on Regent Street, where they were draped across the road and looked really beautiful. I did a vlog on that previously, photographing those flags on Regent Street. However, because I've been traveling so much to Stockholm, I missed out on a lot of that, and they've been packed away since, which is a bit of a shame. So I realized that on the Strand, which is the street we're on right now, the flags are still up. So just going to take that last opportunity to catch a few of these flags draped across the street. So I personally think the Strand isn't as beautiful as Regent Street, but it's a beautiful street regardless, and hope to get some great photos here anyway. Let's see if we can make that happen. Okay, so we've moved all the way to the other side of the Strand, and we've changed lenses. So at the moment we're using the Canon 70-200 f2.8 lens, and the reason we chose such an extreme telephoto lens and zoomed into 200mm, which is the furthest zoomed in you can go, is because of the perspective compression. So if you look at all the flags behind me in the background, if you use a telephoto lens, you can compress them and get a lot of them into your frame, and then with some buses in the foreground, makes for a very dynamic scene, a lot of traffic, a lot of things going on, very London, and that's exactly what we're after. So without further rambling and ado, here's the photo. So it's still midday and the light is extremely harsh, which isn't great for photography conditions. So let's go. What do you think we should do?
We should go to the Natural Museum.
Natural History Museum, you mean? Yes, that one. Natural History Museum. That's where we're headed. Reason being, because it's mostly indoors. We're not, oh look at that harsh light. We're not affected by that. Should make for some great interior shots, and let's go make that happen. So we've arrived in South Kensington, and it's time to get out of here because on the tube it's at least 10 degrees hotter, really dying of sweat, and it'll be good to get some fresh air. Let's head upstairs. So tube travel in London in summer is really unbearable. Like I said, it's super hot, you're sweaty, it feels like a sauna down there, so really relieved to be out in the open air again.
Yeah.
It's a lot cooler down up here, isn't it?
It's really hot.
Yeah, so finally arrived at our final destination for our next photo shoot, which is this building right here called
National.
Still the Natural History Museum. That's right. So that's where we are. Gonna jump inside and give you guys the grand tour. Let's do this. Another great thing about the museums in Kensington is that they're all free, including the V&A Museum, the Science Museum, there's a bunch of others as well, Design Museum actually, and the one we're headed to right now, which of course is called
Natural History Museum.
Correct.
Let's go.
The Natural History Museum is the one,
pictures.
and that's free, and that's where we're going inside, and yeah.
There's some crazy shots inside.
Crazy shots, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't promise too much, but we'll do it anyway. So the last time I was here, there was a huge dinosaur skeleton behind me in the hall, and that's been replaced since. So this is actually my first time here since they've installed the whale, and I've been posting all the dinosaur shots on Instagram. So it's about time I refresh that, get some more fresh content for the Instagram feed, and start photographing that whale. The reason why they've installed the whale actually instead of a dinosaur is because I think it's more keeping with the times, because dinosaurs aren't as relevant to our current age and time, whereas whales are, as they do face extinction. And yeah, I think it's good that they refreshed the museum accordingly. Found our first composition, got the tripod set up right here, and let me talk you through the thought process of what's going on here. So because it's a busy Saturday afternoon and you got all these people in the main hall, which doesn't make for a great shot because I prefer to have my shots nice and empty and the hall devoid of people. So what I've done to make that happen is it's got a 10-stop ND filter over here, which you'll know is one of my favorite techniques from other videos. But this time around, it's not about tracking cloud movement or getting still waters. It's just to ghost away all the people in the hall. And then also, I'm using a 18mm wide angle lens just to fit in as much as possible, including the hall, all the beautiful details in the ceilings, as well as the full whale skeleton. So this should turn out really great. Still fiddling with shutter speed at the moment, but I'm shooting in bulb mode at f9 at the moment, and still fiddling with what time's right. Maybe 90 seconds, maybe 2.5 minutes. Just fine-tuning that to get the perfect shot just right. So finally got some settings that work for me. Shot at ISO 100, f9, 180 seconds, and here's the final result. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. So, as per usual, the tripod police is out in full force, and of course they stopped us and told us we couldn't use our tripod anymore. That's super standard in London. Feels like everywhere you go, it's complete no-go. I don't really know the excuse, but anyway, I always keep saying it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. So the key is, wherever you go, set the tripod up anyway, let them shout at you, then take it down. That way at least you might walk away with a few great shots, which is exactly what we managed, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Right, so found my next composition, and that's this right here, where you've got the hall perfectly symmetrical, and you've got the railing as the leading lines, which makes for a really amazing shot. So what I did to get the shot just right is I placed my camera along the railing just to emphasize the leading lines, as well as get a bit of foreground out of focus, a slight bokeh in the foreground. And then you can also see how many people are in the hall right now. So what I had to do was wait for a gap of people, and then take a few exposures at the exact same settings, exact same composition, and then I can piece each shot together to get the hall perfectly empty. Say hello to the vlog.
Peace. Be more photos. Check me out.
Okay.
Hey.
Thanks for the shout out. What's happening, man?
We're at the Natural History Museum. Trying to get a shot empty.
So you said you want to get the hall empty?
There's a shot.
Looks amazing.
So wait for the stragglers to just go home, so we can get the whole museum to ourselves and get the bangers. You understand?
Doesn't that make you a straggler yourself?
Yeah, but I'm a straggler who knows how to use a camera.
Are you?
Difference.
So you're a proud straggler?
Born and raised. No, edit that out. Edit that out. That wasn't right.
Ben, what's upsetting you?
It's hot. I just want to get the shot and go home. But people will not leave the museum.
Oh yeah, who are they specifically?
I have no idea. You and this other guy who's full hair, he won't leave. Look, he's doing what's he doing? He's doing the stitch. Okay, so what's up people? Be More Photos here, back at y'all with another video, and I'm in Philip Play's video. So make sure you go to my YouTube channel, check out my stuff. But enough of the plug.
Yep, Ben, all you've been doing is plugging yourself the whole video, mate. What content do you have to offer? What's the value? What's the value?
I'm gonna tell my settings, guys. I've got my settings. I'm shooting at 80th of a second, at 3.5 aperture f-stop. My ISO is at 250 ISO, and
why? Teach my audience something.
It's because, alright, I'll tell you why. Because I'm shooting, there's a lot of things going on. I want my aperture to be slightly wide, not too wide, because I don't really want any depth of field. It's kind of an image shot, just an image. I want everything to be, shot. My shutter speed is at the right point to keep those highlights and the shadows exposed. And I just gave it a bit of ISO just to bump it up, so my shutter speed is not too slow, where I have to worry about any camera shake. So that's why my settings. I'm always thinking about camera shake, how much I want in focus, and how bright the room is, image room, the highlights. I don't want to blow them out. I don't want too dark shadows. Even though Nikons are really good for shadows, they're really good. They've got good dynamic range, so your shadows are always like, get that camera.
Okay, well, I've got bad news for you. All the affiliate links in the description below are Canon. So
man, I do not need it. I have a D810. It does the job. Hey, security. They're coming. No, they're not coming. Okay, so that's what I think about. I think about. Oh wait. Are you done? Are you done? Alright, so this camera is really good for ISO. You can go up to 1000 ISO, no grain, beautiful, professional shots. So that's why I entrust myself with Nikon. Get your Canon. No, I'm joking. I like Canons too. But security's kicking us out right now, so I gotta go. But peace. Nice. Love you guys. Love you.
One more shout out?
Security's coming out.
One more shout
Shout
out?
out to the National Museum for letting us shoot.
Not to your own Instagram channel or anything. Okay, good. So I'm busy editing the vlog you're currently watching, and I realized it's already longer than 15 minutes long. No YouTube video should be that long. So Isco, Ben and I had an extremely productive day that day, and we ended up shooting over 30 minutes of raw footage, which made me think, hey, this would be the perfect opportunity to split this vlog into 2 parts. So thanks for joining us on part 1, and I'd love it if you'd stay tuned for part 2. Hit that subscribe button below, or click on my face in this corner, and I hope to see you in episode 2. In the meantime, be sure to like and comment this video, because it helps me a lot, helps me boost that YouTube algorithm, and I want this video to be seen. Anyway, see you in the next episode, part 2. Stay tuned.